It all began 50,000 years ago, when humans moved from Africa to what is now Europe. Humans arrived in Europe, and then, in 12,000 BCE, the first cave paintings are done. Later on, we start to see dwellings and small towns, and new technology and improvements start to appear. And one of the most impactful was metal smelting. This was useful to make things for animals, artillery, and jewelry. As time passed and the population grew, collective learning also grew. Two very impactful civilizations were the Greeks and the Romans. They are responsible and contributed to most of the European culture today.
The Europeans ate their crops that they farmed, such as wheat. They used the wheat to make bread, pasta, and porridge. They also had grapes, almonds, and olives that they ate. They had domesticated animals such as pigs and cows, which they also used as a food source.
Europe mostly traded with Asia and India. They did trade with Africa, but this was mostly for slave trade. They would take large ships and trade goods for slaves.
Before the pre-Columbian exchange, the Europeans didn't have very much to domesticate for animals. They only had so many, such as wolves to dogs, the bezoar to goat, the mouton to sheep, the horses, and much more. From an article from National Geographic, a scientist named Ben Kra stated that the results showed that some of the pigs were domesticated animals that had both Near Eastern and European ancestry. Before the pre-Columbian exchange, most transportation was by foot until boats and horses came along and allowed for better travel along water in certain areas.
Positive things about the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange increased collective learning due to the population increase, because there was more food. There were things such as corn, potatoes, beans, and cocoa beans. There was also more currency, so the economy got better, and more metals such as gold and silver came to Europe. Tobacco also came to Europe, although it could be looked as a negative impact.
Now, moving into the negatives, we have new diseases such as syphilis, which killed off most of the people in villages. Also, we have animals that ate the crops people were supposed to eat, meaning that people died of starvation.
We also had tobacco, which led into smoking, killing more people.
Between the positives and negatives, the positives is more important because of the food exchange since it brought more resources to Europe. There was also a population increase, which meant that there was more food needed to feed all of the people.